Disney World pros develop some pretty weird habits, and we're pulling back the curtain today. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now, people who go to Disney World all the time spend their time in some pretty weird ways, like trekking to hotels they're not staying at or spending the day looking at their phone. But there's a good reason, we promise. We're sharing the stranger advice from the pros today. Number 1. Our experts have told us go to hotels you're not staying at. Now, Disney hotels have amazing theming, great restaurants, and the best part, you do not need to be staying there to check them out. I get this question a lot. A lot of people say, AJ, can I go to the Grand Floridian? Can I go to Pop Century even if I'm not staying there? Absolutely, you can go to those hotels. You do not have to be staying there. It doesn't cost you anything to go to those hotels. Now, you may already know you can dine at table service restaurants in hotels around Disney World, but even if you're not staying there, you can still enjoy some of the lower cost options for food where you can get some pretty iconic Disney dishes. So visit those food courts. The Mara at Animal Kingdom Lodge serves those zebra domes, those little white chocolate striped and amarula mousse truffle things. They are a cult favorite on the buffet at Boma. Port Orleans French Quarter is the only place you can get Mickey beignets in Disney World. You'll find them at Scat Cat's Lounge, just off the lobby of the hotel and next to the hotel's quick service location. Now remember, over in Disneyland, you can get those in Disneyland Park, but in Disney World, you can only get them at a hotel. Captain Cook's at the Polynesian Village Resort serves one of the most iconic Disney eats, Tonga toast. This is deep-fried, banana-stuffed, gigantic French toast rolled in cinnamon and sugar. It's exactly like what you'll get at the table service restaurant Kona Cafe upstairs, but you can get it a la carte for less money by heading to the hotel's quick service restaurant. It's only missing that strawberry sauce, which for a $5 price difference, we can do without. After grabbing a boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance at Hollywood Studios, the pros might head out of the crazy crowded park to grab breakfast somewhere a little quieter. Riviera Resort is right on the Skyliner line, so it only takes a few minutes to get there from the front of Studios. There you have a few options for quick eats. Le Petit Cafe is a coffee and pastry bar in the morning and a wine bar in the evening with small plates. Bar Riva is the hotel's pool bar with a full menu, including a Monte Cristo sandwich that made it on our best eats of 2020 list so far. There's also Primo Piatti, the hotel's quick service location that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, including a hanger steak, something you're not going to find on the dinner menu at most quick service locations. The pros may even head to resorts they're not staying at just to enjoy the atmosphere. Many on our team said they visit hotels just to hang out in the lobby and people watch or take a break from the parks for a bit, and maybe just to grab a drink somewhere a little quieter. Next way that Disney pros spend their time in Disney World is visiting those under-the-radar bars and lounges. Disney World is full of quiet, under-the-radar spots to relax. We've got a whole video about them. And the pros know the best low-key places to grab a quick bite along with a quick drink. Bellevue Lounge at the Boardwalk is one of my favorites. The Boardwalk is located just outside of Epcot, so it's a great opportunity to slip out of the park if it's getting a little too crowded without making a trek all the way back to your room. The Bellevue Lounge is located down the hall from the lobby of the Boardwalk Inn, and if you don't know it's there, you would not even notice it. There are comfy sofas inside, a nice patio outside, and it's usually always quiet unless it's a Saturday night right after Epcot closes. There are signature drinks, including a Rye Manhattan, Old Fashioned, and other classic cocktails you won't find on every Disney lounge menu. And the lounge also offers up grab-and-go breakfast pastries, along with mimosas and Bloody Marys in the morning. Over at Cruise Cup at the Yacht Club, I know you guys thought I was done talking about Cruise Cup, but I am not done talking about Cruise Cup. This one's just across Crescent Lake from the boardwalk, and you're going to find it at the Yacht Club. So this lounge is where you're going to get another one of our favorite dishes we've eaten at Disney World in the past year, those prime rib sliders. The slider plate is seriously so good, you guys. You got to go get it. I've gone back multiple times on the same trip to have them again and again. The food menu here has smaller, shareable plates plus entrees like a burger or even a 10-ounce prime rib. Now, the lounge is right next to Yachtsman Steakhouse. You can expect some really good beef dishes, and it also feels a little bit more like a table service restaurant. You got booths in there. It's not all kind of low tables, so it feels a little bit more like a table service restaurant. Great option if you don't have a dining reservation and everywhere else is full. All right, Victoria Falls Lounge at Animal Kingdom Lodge. We've already mentioned those zebra domes as a great reason to head over to AKL, but if you're not in the mood for dessert, go to Jumbo House for a visit to Victoria Falls Lounge. It's located right right off the lobby overlooking Boma, and it's actually on the floor in between the lobby and the restaurant, so it's in a unique little nook. There's a great wine selection. Animal Kingdom Lodge actually has the largest selection of South African wine outside of South Africa, and the menu also features some small plates from the Jiko Kitchen, the hotel's signature restaurant. The last time we were there, they didn't have a great food menu, but that might have been because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. That could be why the kitchen might have closed, but they usually do have a decent small plates food menu. So that's a good place to try that's kind of far away from everywhere, but if you want to sort of escape a little bit. All right, the next weird way that the pros spend their time in Disney World is visiting Tom Sawyer Island. A lot of people skip over the interactive playground, walking trail-filled island in the center of Magic Kingdom in order to get on all their fast passes, but not the pros. They know it's a great spot to relax and get out of the craziness of the park without getting out of the park. It's quiet and not just for kids. There are rocking chairs to relax in, a great view of Thunder Mountain. Aunt Polly's is a great quick service location if it's open, which it never is, by the way. It's typically only open during super busy times of the year, so Christmas, spring break, etc. But when it is, you'll find root beer floats along with some comfort food classic sandwiches. And if you get the chance to eat there, you know that you're doing something super, super rare in Disney World. Now, Tom Sawyer Island is a great example of classic Disney Imagineering. It's immersive, it's whimsical, and it's a bit of Disney history that most people overlook. Now, if you have little kids that have a lot of energy, you guys, you have to hit up Tom Sawyer Island. The kids can run all over the place. They can visit a fort. They can go in a mining cave. It's so, so, so much fun. And nobody's scanning their magic band to do every single thing. They can just kind of run wild over there. Something that they can't do a whole lot in Disney World. Next way pros spend their time in Disney World, go to indoor shows we've seen 1,000 times. The pros may have seen PhilharMagic, and it's tough to be a bug hundreds of times already, but on a super hot day, you bet we're ducking in there to get some AC. There are a lot of shows that nearly always have little to no wait. Plus, many have an indoor waiting area, so you can get that AC before the show even starts. Pixar Shorts in Epcot, PhilharMagic in Magic Kingdom, Muppet Vision 3D in Hollywood Studios, Tough to Be a Bug in Animal Kingdom. They're all relatively short shows, 10 minutes or so, but it gets you a seat and some cool AC for a quick break. And as we pointed out, there's one in each park, and you'll often just have to wait for the previous show to let out to enter the theater. So a nice quick respite for you if you need to get out of the crazy, get out of the heat, and sit down for a little while. Plus, you get entertainment. All right, the next weird way the pros spend their time in Disney World, dining at non-Disney owned restaurants. So there are several great options for restaurants in Disney Springs, and sometimes those third-party restaurants are actually better than many Disney-owned locations. Homecoming, Chef Art Smith's Southern Comfort Food Restaurant is one of our favorite brunch locations in all of Disney World. Morimoto Asia, which is Chef Morimoto's modern Asian cuisine, is super killer, a great restaurant. Just don't get dessert there. Get everything else though. Wine Bar George's former California Grill head sommelier George Miliatis created this restaurant. Features a relaxed but high-end menu, very, very approachable wine list, and awesome brunch, awesome food. This is not just wine, you guys, and it is a local favorite. So if you know that people head out here all the time, these pros, these people that know Disney World really, really well, this is where they want to eat, then you know for sure that it's a great spot. All three of these regularly make it onto our best restaurants in Disney World list, and they're a favorite of Disney World experts. Now, in the parks, we'll even pick some non-Disney restaurants, like Via Napoli. It's run by the Patina Group, which also runs Morimoto Asia, by the way, and the Edison and Maria and Enzo's, and a bunch of restaurants in Disneyland. But we will pick this brick oven pizza restaurant over many World Showcase restaurants, believe it or not. In Animal Kingdom, one of our favorite restaurants is Yak and Yeti, which is operated by Landry's, who also runs Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex. Food at those two, not so good, but food at Yak and Yeti is really, really good. Definitely get the firecracker shrimp. Now you can sign up for Landry's loyalty program. Don't forget to get priority seating, free appetizers, and $25 on your birthday, which you can use at Yak and Yeti. Now the next way that pros spend their time in Disney World is spending a ton of time on their phone. That's right, they are on the My Disney Experience app. Pros who are in Disney World all the time end up in the parks a lot more last minute and on a whim than most, and often that means not too much planning goes into that visit. But that doesn't mean they don't know how to dine at the most in-demand restaurants and ride Slinky, even if they did make their plans like yesterday. That means they spend a lot of time refreshing that app to get a last-minute Fast Pass or dining reservation. So you can make Fast Pass reservations 30 or 60 days out, depending on if you're staying at a Disney hotel or not. But Fast Passes are available until they run out, which typically means up until park close. The pros know people are changing plans all day long, and that means swapping or canceling fast passes, even for some of Disney World's top rides. In the My Disney Experience app, you can search for new fast passes while you're in the park, keep scrolling between those time slots to refresh the ride availability, and you may end up scoring Slinky Dog Dash, Flight of Passage, or Mine Train. We have definitely done all three before last minute. Just remember that the number of people you're trying to get a seat for can affect whether or not those fast passes are open. A lot of times you'll find fast passes for 1 or 2 people before you'll find a set of 8 fast passes available. Now, they also know how to find a last-minute dining reservation. It's a pretty similar method. Again, people are changing plans all day long right up until that last minute, so keep refreshing that app. A good time to go for restaurant cancellations is the day before you want to dine. Disney restaurants charge a $10 per person fee for cancellations after the 24-hour mark, so many people will cancel just before that window to avoid that fee. The next weird way the pros spend their time in Disney World, taking advantage of under-the-radar activities. Most people are go, go, go at Disney World, but once you've been a bunch of times, you might be looking for something more relaxing rather than hitting rope drop every morning. Pros who have seen and done it all are on the lookout for the things that they haven't done, like morning yoga at a resort. Disney hotels offer lots of small activities, and many of them are free to resort guests or just have a small fee. The Grand Floridian, Saratoga Springs, Wilderness Lodge, and a few other resorts offer morning yoga, usually between 7 and 8 a.m. a few days a week. There are also fun runs like the Beignet Dash at Port Orleans French Quarter, which the entrance fee is $15. It's a short 1.5-mile course, and then you get beignets after. Several resorts offer art classes like those canvas and wine glass painting classes at the Boardwalk. Art classes are usually around $30 to $50, or wine tastings like the one held at Chico on Wednesdays. Check your resort's activities to see what's available to you. You can get a copy at the front desk. These are great ways to do things that no one else you know has done in Walt Disney World, and it can really help to slow down your vacation a little bit. Do something a little bit different, something that you've never done before. All right, the next weird way the pros spend their time in Disney World, getting their steps in. Yep, getting your steps in probably isn't a thought many of us are too concerned about when we're at Disney World, but the pros use the parks as a walking trail. Lots of locals walk at Disney Springs before the shops open when it's not crowded and the day is still cool and quiet. And there's free parking at Disney Springs. It's large enough to get a few good miles in there. Reward yourself with a great snack or some new clothes at the dozens of stores and restaurants there as well. And speaking of rewarding yourself, a lot of pros also only visit Disney World for a meal, for like dinner or something. And this one's pretty weird if the thought of a Disney vacation less than 5 days seems impossible to you. But some locals really just go just for dinner. This is a big thing in Disneyland as well. At both parks, locals go to Disney Springs and downtown Disney just like it's any other shopping center in the area for dining or to grab a new purse. The pros might even pop into the parks or resorts just for a meal, especially if it's for a special occasion. Say your birthday's on a weeknight, you don't have time for a full day in the park, but you sure can head to Epcot for dinner at Le Cellier and to watch some fireworks for the evening. Florida residents are even able to get a special Epcot After 4 pass, which, as you might have guessed, gets you access to Epcot but only after 4 p.m., which is perfect for visiting an Epcot festival after work or just hopping in the park for dinner. The next weird way the pros spend their time is in that single rider line. If you're at Disney World all the time, lines are probably not how you like spending your time. And as we've already established, the pros plan a lot of last-minute trips, so you might not be able to snag a fast pass for everything you want to ride. Luckily, there's a single rider line for a few attractions: Millennium Falcon and Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios, Expedition Everest in Animal Kingdom, and Test Track in Epcot. You won't get to ride with your group, but chances are if you're a pro, you've already ridden it with them tons of times, or maybe you're visiting Disney solo. In any case, the single rider line will likely be a lot shorter than the standby line. And Test Track has even posted a wait time for the single rider line so you can see how much shorter it is before you jump in line. And the last weird way the pros spend their time in Disney World, seeing a band that was popular in the 80s and 90s. You might not expect to see Boyz II Men, Hanson, Jefferson Starship, or Tiffany on your next Disney trip, but they usually return year after year to Epcot's Eat to the Beat or Garden Rocks concert series. These concerts happen in conjunction with the Flower and Garden and Food and Wine festivals in Epcot, and people line up for hours in order to see these free concerts. Many pros will head to the parks just to catch their favorite act night after night. Don't want to line up hours in advance to see the show? Epcot has dining packages to guarantee you a seat. Many restaurants around Epcot offer a dining package where you'll get a full meal and then a voucher for a seat in a reserved area of the theaters, so you don't have to show up super early to get a good view. If you're planning on dining in the park anyway, it's definitely a win-win. So there's a few ways that we weird Disney pros spend our time in Disney World. People who are there regularly, who are there often, who are there every day, like our photographers here at Disney Food Blog. So I hope that was interesting to you, and hopefully it also gave you a little bit more insight into ways you can spend your time at the park if you don't just want to do rope drop to fireworks every single day. Thanks for listening, you guys, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.